dive into this Heisman Trophy odds list real quick via FanDuel. I want to dive into what you think so far. Speaking of Heisman, these are the guys we know. For me, Travis Hunter to get it, Shaun, I don't know if you agree or not. I agree. They just have to be in the either a playoff consideration or no more than 2 to 3 losses, in my opinion, for him to be really considered as a non-QB. Because on offense, Shaun, let's just be honest and break down history. On offense, non-QBs that's won it, think about it, was our main man, Devontae Smith, a couple years ago, who had an unbelievable offensive performance on an Alabama team that was obviously in the playoffs, and he was killing it on offense. Travis, although I agree with Dion, you would be robbing us of seeing his full talent on both sides of the ball. I also think you could be robbing him of a Heisman because he's not going to have the numbers on one side of the ball or the other to actually win the Heisman. So I don't think anyone's talked about that side of it. So it's a double-edged sword, Shaun. It's going to be hard for Travis the more I look at it, unless they just say, all right, this is Charles Woodson. This is what it is. He's just so elite and dynamic. We're going to give it to him. But I think they have to win, though. So where are you at with that?
Here's what's interesting. I don't think Travis can do anything to lose the Heisman except get hurt. That's the only thing I think he could do that will go against him. What Travis and Colorado and everybody pulling for him, they just have to hope that Cam or Jalen or even Dylan or Nico or when Quinn comes back, one of those guys don't go on a miraculous undefeated run where they're playing lights out. That's the way Travis loses the Heisman. Not anything that Travis does, but if Cam Ward or Jalen Milroe, one of these quarterbacks of these high-powered, big brands, they get on a run, and they're sitting there undefeated, and Milroe has a couple more games like he had against Georgia, or Cam finds a consistency button that he's never had, then there'll be nothing Travis can do.
Yeah. Right now, I would just find it hard. Like, DeBoer has proven what a great coach he is. Wherever he goes, he wins. And he beats big-time head coaches head-to-head. Mm-hmm. The only guy he's lost to really of significance is Harbaugh in a national title. I mean, let's be honest. Everyone else he beats head-to-head. He owns college football right now, if you really want to talk about it. If he goes and runs the table like an Urban Meyer did year one at Ohio State, it's going to be very impressive.
If Jalen keeps playing good, there's nothing Travis can do.
You'll have the national title, the coach of the year, and the Heisman Trophy winner, all from Alabama once again.
I could fairly say Travis deserves it at this point in the season. Absolutely. I think he's playing at Heisman level. I really do. And the fact that he's creating turnovers on defense this year, I think enhances, his vote. I just think that at the end of the day, if one of those quarterbacks has a big season and their team is sitting there undefeated, historically, the Heisman is going to pick the quarterback.
Yeah. Addressing this guy in the chat, Matthew Byer. I hired Steve. You know why I hired Steve and how I hired Steve at Indy? Lance Leipold. Lance Leipold sent me Steve McCullum. Steve was a GA at Buffalo for Lance. I've known Lance for a long time. And Lance said he's a great dude, great worker, blah, blah, blah. And I hired him as an assistant defensive coach. And that's how people get hired in this profession. It's not a resume. Don't send a resume to a Division I coach or a power or a national JUCO coach. We're not looking at them. It's all who you know. It's a who you know business, coaches. It's not about resumes. You can have the best resume ever. We'll never see it. I'm just throwing that out there. Sorry to tell you the truth.